Vamos a comenzar con la oración antes y después de las enseñanzas en la página en donde dice alabanza al Buda Shakyamuni. Maestro, destructor de enemigos, has sido Buda completa y perfectamente despierto, dotado con sabiduría y conducta ejemplar, ido al gozo, timonero que guía a los seres ordinarios que aún deben ser domados, ser supremo, maestro de todos los dioses y los hombres, Buda, destructor de enemigos, glorioso y victorioso ser Shakyamuni, ante ti me postro y a ti voy por refugio. Maestro, destructor de enemigos, has sido Buda completa y perfectamente despierto, dotado con sabiduría y conducta ejemplar, ido al gozo, timonero que guía a los seres ordinarios que aún deben ser domados, ser supremo, maestro de todos los dioses y los hombres, Buda, destructor de enemigos, glorioso y victorioso ser Shakyamuni, ante ti me postro y a ti voy por refugio. Maestro, destructor de enemigos, has sido Buda completa y perfectamente despierto, dotado con sabiduría y conducta ejemplar, timonero que guía a los seres ordinarios que aún deben ser domados, ser supremo, maestro de todos los dioses y los hombres, Buda, destructor de enemigos, glorioso y victorioso ser Shakyamuni, ante ti me postro y a ti voy por refugio. Ahora leemos el Sutra del Corazón de la Perfección de la Sabiduría. Así lo oí. Una vez el bendito estaba residiendo en Rayagrilla, en la montaña llamada Pico del Buitre, junto a una gran asamblea de monjes y una gran asamblea de bodhisattvas. En ese momento el bendito entró al Samadhi, que expresa el Dharma, llamado iluminación profunda, y al mismo tiempo el noble Avalokiteshvara, el bodhisattva Mahasattva, mientras practicaba la profunda perfección de la sabiduría, vio lo siguiente. Vio que los 5 skandhas son de la naturaleza del vacío. Entonces, por el poder del Buda, el venerable Shariputra le preguntó al noble Avalokiteshvara, el bodhisattva Mahasattva, ¿cómo debe entrenar un hijo o una hija de familia noble que quiere practicar la profunda perfección de la sabiduría? Entonces el noble Avalokiteshvara, el bodhisattva Mahasattva, le contestó al venerable Shariputra, oh Shariputra, un hijo o una hija de familia noble que desea practicar la profunda perfección de la sabiduría debe practicar así, viendo lo siguiente, que los 5 skandhas son de la naturaleza del vacío. La forma es el vacío también es la forma. El vacío no es otra cosa que la forma no es otra cosa que el vacío. De la misma manera, los sentimientos, las percepciones, las formaciones mentales y la conciencia también son el vacío. Por lo tanto, Shariputra, todos los dharmas son el vacío. No existen las características, no existe el nacimiento ni la cesación. No hay impureza, no hay pureza. No hay merma ni hay aumento. Por lo tanto, Shariputra, en el vacío no hay forma, sentimiento, percepción, formación mental ni conciencia. No hay ojos, oídos, nariz, lengua, cuerpo o mente. No hay apariencias, ni sonidos, ni olores, ni sabores, ni tacto, dharmas. No hay dhatu de los ojos y así hasta el dhatu de la mente y conciencia. No hay ignorancia ni fin de la ignorancia, hasta la vejez y la muerte. No hay fin de la vejez y de la muerte. No hay sufrimiento ni origen del sufrimiento. No hay cesación del sufrimiento, ni sendero, ni sabiduría, ni logro, ni ausencia de logro. Por lo tanto, Shariputra, ya que los bodhisattvas no tienen logros, moran en la profunda perfección de la sabiduría. Como no hay obscuración en la mente, no hay tampoco temor. Trascienden lo falso y alcanzan el nirvana total. Todos los budas de los 3 tiempos, a través de la práctica de la profunda perfección de la sabiduría, despiertan completamente a la iluminación insuperable, verdadera y total. Por lo tanto, el gran mantra de la profunda perfección de la sabiduría, el mantra de la gran percepción, el mantra insuperable, El mantra inigualado, el mantra que calma todo sufrimiento, debe ser conocido como la verdad, ya que no contiene falsedad. El mantra de la profunda perfección de la sabiduría es Tayata.
Gate, gate,
Paragate, Parasamgate Bodhisoha. Tayata gate gate paragate 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 parasamgate bodhisoha.
So this moment, due to the blessing of the Heart Sutra, and particularly recitation of the mantra, time being trying to feel all the obstacle, internal obstacle and external obstacle are pacified. And particularly our internal, any kind of blockage, also the blessing of the mantra purified. Due to this pacifying, you expand your energy, blessing of the mantra, and also touching your loved ones, and through that, all sentient beings, and also purifying, pacifying any kind of internal blockage, something that you're not able to let go due to the blessing of the mantra, vibration of the mantra, pacifying, transforming. Feel the energy of the mantra, at the same time receiving blessings of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Visualize light or nectar and the nature of a wisdom. Once this blessing touch, any kind of internal, something that you're not able to let go or move forward, are purified. imagine and visualize sense of relief, not only for yourself, your loved ones, and for all sentient beings. Now we're going to recite Green Tara Mantra. First, feel the energy of a Mother Tara. Strengthen your inner mantra vibration. Feel the energy of the mantra within yourself. Okay? At this moment, any kind of fear, discouragement, due to the blessing of the Mother Tara mantra and purifying, feel inner strength. Based on this feeling, visualize Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, their blessings in the aspect of a nectar and light, and touching yourself and all sentient beings. If there's a specific loved ones need liberating from fear in this moment. Also, you can visualize in front of you, and that blessing was a gradually descent and purifying. And due to this blessing, imagine all the obstacles are purified, all the conducive conditions are collected, imagine and visualize yourself and all sentient beings experiencing state of joy, comfort, fearlessness, liberating from feeling of insecure feeling. Due to the blessing and the mantra recitation, the energy of the mantra, feel yourself and all sentient being in a state of harmonious existence. From the state of this harmonious, internal harmonious, external harmonious, now we're reciting the Medicine Buddha mantra. Healing Buddha, okay? So at this moment, visualize yourself, loved ones who need your healing, visualize in front of yourself. Regardless, whole sentient beings need some kind of healing from afflictions, physical healing, emotional healing, and develop strong compassion, bodhicitta, determination. Sense of strong feeling of I want to help. This intention and feeling of a harmonious state. So we're going to recite Medicine Buddha mantra and send lots of prayer and dedication for all sentient beings. Okay? Daya da om beganze beganze maha beganze beganze Ranza Samugate Soha Tayada Om Bekanse Bekanse Maha Bekanse Bekanse Ranza Samugate Soha Tayada Om Bekanse Bekanse Maha Bekanse Bekanse Ranza Samudgate Soha Tayada Om Bekanse Bekanse Maha Bekanse Bekanse Ranza Samudgate Soha Tayada Om Bekanse Bekanse Maha Bekanse Bekanse Ranza Samudgate Soha Tayata Om Bekanse Bekanse Maha Bekanse Bekanse Ranza Samudgate Soha Tayata Om Bekanse Bekanse Maha Bekanse Bekanse Ranza Samudgate Soha Tayata Om Bekanse Bekanse Maha Bekanse Bekanse Ranza Samudgate Soha Tayata Om Bekanse Bekanse Maha Bekanse Bekanse Ranza Samudgate Soha Tayata Om Bekanse Bekanse Maha Bekanse Bekanse Ranza Samudgate Soha Tayata Om Bekanse Bekanse Maha Bekanse Bekanse Ranza Samudgate Soha Tayata Om Bekanse Bekanse Maha Bekanse Bekanse Ranza Samudgate Soha Tayata Om Bekanse Bekanse Maha Bekanse Bekanse Ranza Samudgate Soha Tayata Om Bekanse Bekanse Maha Bekanse Bekanse Ranza Samudgate Soha. Feel the vibration of the mantra. And transforming your internal unbalance and also transforming external imbalance. And particularly imbalance created by aggression, imbalance created by craving, and imbalance created by ignorance. In this moment, visualize Buddha medicine, healing Buddha, and from the heart of the healing Buddha, light, nectar, descending and touching all sentient beings, their crown, their throat, their heart, for entire their body. And same time, this moment, you have a specific loved ones need healing, visualize front of you and Buddha medicine's heart, nectar descent, and purifying all the challenge. Make a strong prayer. Make a strong connection with the healing Buddha. Now at this moment, you want to lead all sentient beings to Buddha medicine's statehood. Now, not only that wish, you need to feel almost all sentient being as Buddha medicine. Okay. So we'll do one more time, Heart Sutra mantra, and then we're going to continue, okay? Daya da gade gade bara gade bara samgate bodhiso. Daya da gade gade bara gade bara samgate bodhiso. Daya da gade gade bara gade para samgate bodhiso. Daya da gade gade para gade para samgate bodhiso.
Por lo tanto, Shariputra, el Bodhisattva Mahasattva debe entrenarse en la profunda perfección de la sabiduría. Entonces el bendito salió del Samadhi y elogió al noble Avalokiteshvara, el Bodhisattva Mahasattva, diciendo: bien dicho, así es, oh hijo de noble familia, así es. Se debe practicar la profunda perfección de la sabiduría, así como has explicado, y todos los tathagatas se regocijarán. Cuando el bendito dijo estas palabras, el venerable Shariputra y el noble Avalokiteshvara, el Bodhisattva Mahasattva, y toda la asamblea de dioses, humanos, asuras y gandharvas se regocijaron y alabaron las palabras del bendito. Y ahora hacemos la ofrenda del mandala breve en español, no en tibetanos.
So before the refuge, I want you to meditate for the refuge. So first, you need to feel yourself. You need to bring your attention close to yourself. You need to deepening your intention close to yourself. And generating the feeling to free yourself from suffering. Not only suffering, the cause of suffering. Then gradually expanding this feeling, not only for yourself, for entire sentient beings. Wish to free from suffering and the cause of suffering. Based on this wish, generating clear conviction, enlightenment is the free state of suffering and cause of suffering. Based on this conviction, individuals who have obtained such a state, having the capability to liberate from suffering and cause of suffering. this moment, Buddha, the enlightened being, and his or her inner quality is the Dharma, and his or her who are trying to helping and nurturing as the Sangha. Based on this understanding and awareness, generating feeling of a conviction quality of enlightenment. Based on this conviction, visualize in front of your space Buddha Shakyamuni, Gautama Buddha, surrounded with the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. So at this moment, two inner quality you need to feel: conviction towards to the enlightened being, and a feeling the pure intention. And based on this kind of inner feeling, then visualize from the Buddha Shakyamuni blessings, based on this blessing, feel sense of protectiveness. Okay, so we do the refuge.
Hacemos el refugio en español. Voy por refugio hasta alcanzar la iluminación, al Buda, al Dharma y a la Asamblea Suprema. Por los méritos que acumule practicando la generosidad y demás perfecciones, que pueda obtener el estado de Buda para beneficiar a todos los seres. Voy por refugio hasta alcanzar la iluminación, al Buda, al Dharma y a la Asamblea Suprema. Por los méritos que acumule practicando la generación y las más perfecciones, que pueda obtener el estado de Buda para beneficiar a todos los seres. Voy por refugio hasta alcanzar la iluminación, al Buda, al Dharma y a la Asamblea Suprema. Por los méritos que acumule practicando la generosidad y demás perfecciones, que pueda obtener el estado de Buda para beneficiar a todos los seres.
Okay. Okay. Am I looking good? Okay. So, today we'll discuss a little bit concept of death. In a meditation, there's a lot of encouragement of a meditation into the death. And there's even in a much more advanced level, meditation of death becomes quite important. And what is a death? There's not, from the Buddhist point of view, there's nothing intrinsically existing in death. Death is a designated certain transition of existence. So it is once our consciousness depart from this life karmic result, and it labeled it as a death. Now, when you look at much more deeper, what is a death? And there's a understanding of death. Also, some of today's question in a state of sleep is awakened state, and the consciousness something that not, how you say, subconscious states. There's this evolved, sometimes our sense consciousness are not functioning. When we're sleeping, our sense consciousness is totally kind of shut down. Our mental consciousness is kind of when you're in a deep sleep, it is a very, relatively speaking, it is a little movement. And when we say death is also, now first of all, concept of a medical death, what you say, scientifically death or medical death. And the Buddhist understanding of death is also different. In Buddhism, somebody can be clinical death, but from the Buddhist point of view, it is still in a death process. It is not death. Okay. So here, this process, this state of existence is considered as a very crucial, very important state. Even advanced practitioners taking this state of death process into the most important meditation opportunity. Okay, so first of all, what means a death? Nature of a death need to be understood. Death means some kind of labeled into some transition. Okay, some kind of transition. And basically, looking into that transition, basically what's happening is it is some kind of a movement happening for all part of our consciousness. Usually, it's very hard to happen entire part of our consciousness to function. Basically, for example, in a scientist, our brain we're using very little. The majority brain is still unemployed. No job. It's only very little part of our brain is only functioning. Okay. In the same way, from the consciousness point of view, again, same thing. Majority and the most powerful state of our consciousness, we are not able to function. There's some kind of very minority portion of our consciousness is just functioning. Okay. Now, time of a death, particularly in a death process, is this, for example, advanced meditators, what they really want to meditate, what they really want to bring is they want to able to function and move entire their consciousness, state of consciousness. And since that was the intention, so there is two opportunity. One is very advanced level, they are able to due to the practice, training, they're able to awake such an entire existence of a consciousness. Now, when we're training at the beginning, is a somehow training of a death process, meditation into death process. Meditation into the death process, really what happened is that at the beginning, meditation in the death process is lots of visualization. It's just visualization. Basically, that visualization is not different than orientation. Basically, in directly way of saying death meditation is a death orientation. It's give you a really detailed orientation. Now, this orientation have a focus. Okay? So after orientation, then you develop the concentration. Okay? Then basically concentration really brings the death process beyond the visualization. So what happened is basically individual practitioners going through visualization of a death process becomes like a kind of warming up. Due to that warming up, strength the concentration at your heart particularly, okay? That concentration becomes the actual, actual awakening the subtle mind, the entire subtle mind, okay? So, so basically, in a Buddhism, in a beginning level of a practice, in an advanced level of a practice, and that meditation becomes quite important. Even like every day, individual, some of the advanced level of a practitioners requires every day of a meditation of this death process. And so, so it is something like seen as a great opportunity to exploring the most subtle state of a mind. Okay, so through the death process meditation, also it have a very specific quality to developing concentration. Usually we develop concentration based on a specific object and a pure intention and the conviction, we develop concentration. Now, in a death process meditation, through this, when you're developing concentration, is not so much about subject and object, it is so much allowing such a concentration state, concentrated state of mind. Okay, so it is a so anyway, this meditation in the death. Now, for example, particularly in Tibetan tradition, we don't celebrate that much birthday. I never get chance to celebrate birthday. Before, when I came to West, then I get chance to celebrate that birthday. But the anniversary of a death, and particularly the death, there is such a focus into that. There is a support for whoever going through this death process. There's a spiritual support, there's a guidance, there's instructions, how to take this very unknown state of existence, okay? And I remember last time when His Holiness came to Portland, and we made one conference, Life After Death, and the conference, and we invited one nurse scientist, and he had he is like before he's a very scientist believing brain is what it is. He's like very core believer into that. And then later, not through the logic and research, but through his own experience, he felt there is something, he went through some level of a death process. He was a kind of long-term, and then later, during that time, he had such a great, deep experience of there's something beyond the physical brain. There's something nature of a consciousness. So, again, such an experience for some individual happens very naturally, due to his own karmic result. For some but for generally speaking, practitioners, they go through the training. Okay, the training is a step number one is a death process visualization training. And that process, visualization process, the training is not difficult. It's just basically visualizations of the process of element dissolving. We have 4 elements. And you go through each element dissolving process, you just visualize. And not only visualization, you kind of reflect into a different sign, internal sign and external sign. It's just visualization. Okay, this kind of visualization is not so much somebody's death process. You kind of visualize your own death process. So there's usually resistance. Oh no, I don't want to do that. I want to live forever. But over here, this process of a meditation is some way to live forever. This meditation, death process meditation is actually, it is a kind of like a training to consistency, okay? To gain some kind of consistency, way to manage your process, this unknown territory, okay? Okay, so anyway, so there is this kind of visualization. So the main thing over here, through this visualization, you develop this concentration, and through this concentration, you naturally brings awakening in a subtle state of mind, okay? So now over here, what this is important is, now in our common life, we have individuals who have out-of-body experience. That's a very real experience. Sometimes happens in a state of a dream, sometimes happens in a kind of out of dream. There's many different states of that kind of experience. Now, these experience, some experience, it is integrated with the fear. Some experience without fear is a very kind of state of like curiosity, kind of. So, such an out-of-body experience have a different flavor. Fear interfered, non-fear interfered, many different things. However, sometimes fear happens. So once the fear happens, then there is it created a tendency for obstacle. Okay, it's just something. Things happens. Even you have no fear and curiosity in just kind of state. Yeah, is this okay? Is this some kind of experience? Fear is something you experience. The fear is so negative than the non-experience of fear. I think there's nothing. It's just something different. Something different. So now, concept of outer body experience. What is this? Now, in an advanced level of a practice, through the meditation of a death process, right now, outer body experience happens kind of like uncontrollably or randomly or something like that. But in a practice, there is a meditation, outer body experience creating through intentionally. And that intention was, actualized through the death process meditation. Okay, so now that's the inner. Okay, so now over here, for example, there's a meditation called meditation into an illusory body, gulu. An illusory body, or we can say rainbow body. Okay. So first I thought I'll make it very simple. Now it went through more complication. Okay, now I made myself in trouble now. Okay, now you all are wondering, okay, what is a rainbow body? What is the illusory body? Is my outer body experience is the illusory body experience or rainbow body experience? So, just to make a long story short, outer body experience is, I will say, it is something that, unique experience. It happened through very surprisingly, but nothing necessary to be very surprised. The outer body experience is basically, I will say, sign of awakening another part of our consciousness. Something that that awareness can be live beyond this physical body. Okay, so basically, one of the benefits of a death process meditation is to awakening really the most subtle mind and clear mind, and it can go up to very, very advanced level of a practice. Okay. Now, another way to talk death process meditation, death impermanent meditation. For example, in a Lamrim, from the beginning, we require death impermanent, precious human rebirth, and a death impermanent. So now at the beginning, now I'm talking into a very, very, beginning practitioner level. When you meditate in a death impermanent, you shouldn't meditate just death impermanent, okay? Or I'm going to die, or this. For example, in a Lamrim, there is 3 root, 9 reasons, and 3 conclusions way to meditate in a death impermanent. But this meditation, you need to integrate it with a precious human rebirth. Something you have to feel very strong of a preciousness of your existence. Then death impermanent meditation is something that strong, strong motivator. For example, sometime in our life, we feel less motivated. There's no motivation. Everything becomes kind of like a push and a struggling. Okay. Now, from the Lamrim point of view, the suggestion is to furthermore motivate, to mind to make more focus, is a meditation of a precious human rebirth and the death impermanent, integration, these two. Okay. So due to these two meditation, basically it helps to overcome from distraction. Okay. One of the things that due to lack of a concentration, we lose, many kind of like a good opportunities. taking things very granted, just kind of like things taking granted, I say? Granted, for granted, okay? So these things becomes kind of source of a distraction, mind to not to able to settle. So over here, meditation into the precious human rebirth and the death impermanent. Okay, these two becomes one of the key meditation. So now, for example, in a tradition, early time, individual requires to meditate precious human rebirth and a death impermanent. Every other hour, like a morning, you have a kind of spread it. Every 2 hours or every 1 hour, individual staying very reflecting into this preciousness of your existence in a death impermanent. So if you only meditate death impermanent, it just becomes cause of a fear. And fear is not healthy. When you integrated precious human rebirth and death impermanent, it becomes cause of a motivation. Okay? It is a cause of a motivation rather than the fear. So here, meditation of a precious human rebirth and death impermanent also purpose for generating stronger motivation and a purpose for overcoming from distraction. Okay, anytime when we face a distraction, now let me put this way: in our life, there's so many things to do. Then we say prioritize. When you're looking for each of those things, what we have to do, from their side, I think, is this doesn't stand, this is the most priority. Nothing independent existence priority things that they exist. If there's such a thing exist, then it's really easy to do it. If such a thing doesn't exist, okay? Priority is from your perspective, okay? So now over here, sometimes we lost the priority. We don't know what is a priority. So meditation into the precious human rebirth, into the death impermanent, once you start doing this is the door to seeing what is a priority. Okay, so this is again, you can try yourself, just continually integration, not only the death meditation, not only the precious human rebirth meditation, but integration. And if you kind of like try every day, maybe like 12 times or 10 times, dose of a meditation of a precious human rebirth in a death impermanent, what it brings experience, what it's, that's, I think, a really integration in your daily life. Okay, so there's one of the masters early time, he mentioned, sorry, it's okay. He mentioned that if he not meditates early morning, death impermanent and precious human rebirth, his noon become kind of very distracted. If you don't meditate in the noon, precious human rebirth and impermanent, his afternoon becomes so distracted. Okay, so here, basically, overcoming distraction and the generating intention and recognizing the priority. Okay, this is the meditation how it is created. Meditation of death impermanent. Okay, in our when we get overexcitement overexcitement is also a not good sign, because it will crash down and it creates, how you say, unstable. So here, I'll tell one story. There's one Theravadan monk from Sri Lanka. He's from Sri Lanka, and then he, part of his daily meditation requires meditation into the death impermanent. So he's doing every day this meditation of a death impermanent. And maybe some of you heard already. Then he was flying in airplane. He's flying in airplane. So one time he was flying, there's some trouble with the airplane. So they announced, we have to return back to the airport. So he was at first like a little bit kind of shocked. And then he said, oh, I'm reflecting into this reality every day. And then he's like, he felt some kind of like, he was a kind of no more panic. And he's like, okay, this is what really time it is. So he's, when airplane return, this whole process is a real meditation, he says, for him. And then he's seeing, surrounding people, going through such a panic states. He was a little bit concerned, but at the same time, he said he was really state of a very calm. And then, obviously, they returned back to the airport, and then he said he had to jump from the sliding. So he said some people kind of rolling and falling, but he said he did really good. He slided. Okay, so in a Buddhist, particularly in a Lamrim meditation, this reality of death is not necessarily seen as a negative, not necessarily seen as a very, undisgusted, seen as a very how you say, crucial and important state of a process, okay? So now, so here, now in the Lamrim, meditation of a death impermanent, is what it really trying to come out is it comes trying to three things. Okay? When you're trying to do a meditation of a death impermanent, of course I mentioned earlier to seeing the priority, generating the strong motivation, overcoming from distraction. That's kind of like a very general, but even much more focused way, through the death process meditation, what's happening is an individual generating not just motivation, but a very clear motivation. When I say clear motivation, it means the motivation have a very clear answer, not just generally motivated. This motivation have a clear way for what action it was motivated. So clear motivation. Motivation without kind of like a unclear. Sometimes we're motivated, but we don't know what to do. So through this death process and meditation, the motivation kind of becomes a very clear motivation. Okay. Not only clear motivation, motivation with the strength. When I say motivation with the strength, it means the motivation with the determination. That motivation is a very active, engaging motivation rather than the very general motivation. So this kind of motivation. And the third type of motivation through this kind of like a death impermanent meditation, third type of motivation is that motivation is not just kind of temporary solution, motivate to not just for jumping for temporary solution, but the motivation which is looking for long-term solution. Okay, so we human, we have to have a quality of a motivation. Motivation have to be very clear. Motivation have to be very determinate. Motivation have to be a very, long-term intended. Okay, so somehow that process meditation, when we integrate it for our own self, this becomes condition to strengthen our motivation. Inspiration is a little bit different. Inspiration is something that you create, you listen, you look, you experience. Now when it comes to the motivation, it have a majority, you have to integrate it, your own reality and your own existence. Okay? So therefore, the key point over here is this kind of a three type of a motivation to generating is the meditation of a dead impermanent. So now over here, these three type of a motivation, once we able to cultivate it, basically quality of a shine. We talk many times how am I going to develop shine, and I have so many different challenges. So we need to work with these three type of intention, the motivation. Once we, these three type of motivation is, if we can find another way, then of course, but so far it is an integration of your existence and a death impermanence. Somehow this kind of awareness becomes a key condition to generating this type of a very profound three type of motivation. Okay? So now, through this motivation, three type of motivation, it becomes a fundamental condition for generating shine, the concentration. Okay? Okay? And not only that, through these three type of motivation, through this concept of a faith, okay, concept of a faith also we can generate much more deeper through these three type of motivation. Okay, and through these three type of motivation also becomes fundamental foundation to creating or generating compassion also. So therefore, beginning of any kind of meditation in the Lamrim, it suggests meditate into a preciousness and impermanent, death impermanent. Okay, so that's really important. There's one recently I met one of my friends, and she was going to becoming a director of one of the center. And the master told, there's a life obstacle. You won't be a good director for the center. You have a life obstacle. Then she really wants to serve for the center, but the life obstacle, and she came that, I'm like, she said every movement, anytime she go out in the car or when she comes into the center, she feels like this is something, death will going to happen for herself. So, it's a very constant fear, okay? So now over here, that impermanent meditation, if we take as a very wrong way, if it doesn't take as a then it becomes cause of a fear, okay? When we take that into the right direction, it becomes cause of a motivation. So it's like there's a very strong energy. If you take in the wrong way, it becomes a distraction. If you take that energy in the right way, it becomes very constructive, okay? So now over here, when you say spirituality, from the Buddhist point of view, spiritual, first I will tell my part, then I will ask this question for what means spirituality, okay? spirituality is once an individual have these three type of a motivation. One of the clear motivation, profound motivation, motivation with a conviction. When I'm talking these three type of motivation, then I think that person is very spiritual. Spiritual what do you think? I'm just curious. These expressions quite strongly exist. Very spiritual. He or she is very spiritual. What really means spiritual? Is this word is from Latin or spiritual? Is it just English word? Spiritual. Okay. 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 Then one of the my master mentioned when you get really lazy and way to overcome from laziness is the meditation of a precious human rebirth and a death impermanent. Integration of these two meditation will help from overcoming from this kind of laziness. So one main thing is, we have this all question all the time. I'm not able to keep my commitment consistent. And also, I did 30,000, then now I've interrupted, now I have to start back again. We have lots of these challenge, and I think how we can keep consistent, okay, consistency of a practice. I think key thing is if we did daily basis dose of a meditation of death impermanent and a precious human rebirth, dose of every day, I think this problem will take care. Otherwise, there's no another way to take care. You can organize your schedule. You can do many different things. I think you will face this problem. It's not because of the way your scheduling is wrong. It's nothing. I don't think so. It is something internally need to be worked it. So therefore, daily basis of a dose of a meditation of a death impermanent makes the day different, basically. Okay. So the way of meditating is not so much, I might die with a car accident, or I might die falling something. Is not through looking through individual condition. It is not about that. Although sometimes there's that kind of things, but it is about basically this intelligent and self that you're feeling is something that never be forever. It's not, we are saying this kind of word, but that impermanent is also not about something like that. It is, impermanent is it is not necessarily encouragement of a let go or that kind of, it is a way of handling sense of I, basically. We are putting label that impermanent, precious image, many different things we are putting together, but ultimately, way of a sense of I, we all the time feel that, but this meditation is way of handling sense of I. Now, for example, when I first time teaching Dharma in West, I don't speak the language very well, and my teacher told me, go and stay on the throne and teach for 2 hours. I said, really? And then I thought like, okay, I have a kind of like a totally broken English, but at least I will prepare the subject. I'm not handling my sense of I very gently. Because of that, whatever I prepare, everything finished within the 15 minutes, and I have the rest of the hour left to take care. Okay. So later, of course, I will read and prepare, but the ultimate my preparation is the meditation of impermanent, which basically where I'm going to hold sense of I. Okay. So this becomes my foundation for concentration. So over here, when I said that impermanent meditation, I'm going to die, it's not only about that. This is some kind of small ingredients to bringing, I should pay attention how to holding my sense of I, gentle way, very harmonious way. Okay, so when you read in the Lamrim, there's all this detailness. These detailness are just kind of like a pilot light, just kind of to awakening, but you doesn't concentrate entirely into that. Through this, you bring sense of I. Okay, so basically every day in our daily life, when we sense of I, way we manage and handling, when it have an extreme state, then our every kind of movement, our action, interaction, will have a negative impact. Okay, so anyway, so key point over here, meditation at the beginning level, that impermanent meditation is a way to handling sense of I with a very balanced way. In an advanced level, meditation about that impermanent and that process is a really way to awakening our subtle mind. Okay, and so then we may ask, so what? We awaken subtle mind. So what is that? The key thing over here is, engaging into a subtle mind bring some kind of infinite concentration and clarity. Infinite concentration and clarity brings infinite benefit, limitless benefit. Okay, so that's kind of like not close to yourself, but the limited benefit for all sentient beings. This is something that beyond the limitation. Okay. Okay. Do you want to meditate on that impermanent before going to bed? Okay. So, key point over here, way we're going to handle sense of I. This precious sense of I, you're going to handle with a very balanced way. For that method, meditation of that impermanent. Okay. So, even when you're going to go to the bed, you have to generate or feel a sense of I very balanced. Sometimes, obviously, when you're not able to sleep, you are really, kind of like shouting for yourself. In a sense of I is not handling very gently. So therefore, sometimes I used to tell people, if you're not able to sleep, you're not able to meditate. Not because of you're tired, I'm not saying, but basically, sleep is also something that you let go, state of mind, you let go, your gentleness there's towards to yourself. And meditation is something, gentleness towards to yourself. It is not something that forcing, okay? So over here, really, the key training for meditation is establishment of intention. Okay, so sense of I, where I'm going to manage or hold very gently. Even you are talking, even you're writing yourself. Before you go to bed, when you put in that way, it make an imprint and seeds for next morning. brings continuity that. Okay, so key point, whatever we labeled, very harmonious way of holding sense of I or this conventional self. And once we hold a very harmonious way this conventional I, many problems are overcome by simply that. Okay? Okay, maybe we'll stop here. So, before we go through this, we'll stop. We're going to do I don't want you to meditate. Oh, am I going to die tonight? Oh, am I going to wake up? Am I going to happen? Not fear. Basically, first, let's do this way. We'll stay very silent for a little while. Feel your sense of I, okay? A very gentle way. And after that, basically, sometimes when you go silent meditation, there's the inner voice telling, am I doing right? Am I doing wrong? Am I, you need to mute that one. Okay, so basically, graduate feeling of a sense of I, gentleness towards to that, and then through this state of gentleness, and then awareness of a karma, past, present, and future, your karma. And based on that awareness, then we're going to do a Vajrasattva mantra, just to do purification. Since we are over here together, collective karma, I think it's very powerful, okay? So let's do this, we're very simple, okay? Okay. Om Bhaja Sadhu Samaya Malu Malaya Bhaja Sattva Deno Bhatida Dido Me Bhava Sutokayo Me Bhava Supokayo Me Bhava Anurakto Me Bhava Sarva Siddhi Me Prayasha Sarva Karma Sushame Shitan Shiryam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sarvatata Gata Vashrama Memusha Vashrava Vamaha Samaya Sato Ahumpe Om Vajra Sattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajra Sattva Venopatishta Trido Me Bhava Zutokayo Me Bhava
Supokayo me bawa, Anurakto me bawa, Sarva siddhi me prayasha, Sarva karma sushame, Chitan shiriyan kuruhum, ha 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 ho, Bhagavan, Sarva tathagata, Vajramame musha, Vajrabawa mahasamaya sato ahum pe, Om Vajrasattva samaya, Manupalaya, Vajrasattva venopatishta, Drido me bawa, Sutokayo me bawa, Supokayo me bawa, Anurakto me bawa, Sarva siddhi me prayasha, Sarva karma sushame, Chitan shiriyan kuruhum, ha 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 ho, Bhagavan, Sarva tathagata vajramame musha vajrabawa mahasamaya sadoa Om Pe.
Okay, so one thing, like for example, just I'm not going to continue for second part until 10 o'clock. Looks like it's going to finish now. It's still going on. Okay, just I'll make a very simple one. Then you reflect. When we say single-pointed meditation or karma-biting meditation or analytical meditation, I want to not to just stick into the word, but the analytical meditation. What that really means is, for example, if there is a different color painting, and each color is not, overshadowing another color, an observation of that harmonious of a different color is almost like an analytical meditation. Like, for example, sometimes taste. Analytical meditation is tasting many different tastes, but the one taste is not overshadowing another taste. Our problem, sometimes when we do analytical meditation, that one paint is a kind of overshadowing all another paints. They're not able to make a harmonious of the paint. For taste, either we put too much spicy. One taste is contradicting and overshadowing the rest of the taste. So analytical meditation is able to taste the harmonious and the individual taste. Is the like analytical meditation. And in a karma-abiding meditation or single-pointed, maybe we can say like a base paint, the one taste. So we need to see from that angle. Otherwise, analytical means we need to really constantly put many different spices. We have the enough mental spice inside there. What analytical meditation trying to do, the harmonious. Taste the harmonious taste. Okay, so that's the key thing. Okay.
Ahora vamos a la oración de larga vida de nuestro maestro Yangsi Rinpoche, recordando a todos los maestros que enseñan el Dharma a través del mundo. Madre Tare, liberando del samsara. Tú Tare, liberando de los 8 temores. Tara, Madre que libera, por favor otorga el don de la longevidad. Por las bendiciones de los gurús raíz y del linaje, por los logros espirituales de los yidam, dioses y diosas, por los métodos hábiles de las dakinis y los protectores del Dharma, que podamos realizar gozosamente la esencia de nuestras esperanzas. Gendun Tenzin, eres afable, benevolente y bondadoso. Por favor, permanece con nosotros durante una larga vida. Expande tus actividades iluminadas en todas las direcciones y continúa madurando y sustentándonos a mí y a todos los seres sintientes. Desde este momento y donde todas nuestras vidas, manténnos bajo tu tutela. Sé nuestro amigo, nuestro divino y virtuoso guía. Limpia la degeneración de la ignorancia. Ayúdanos a realizar rápidamente nuestro recorrido por los senderos y caminos y alcanzar los 3 cuerpos de un Buda, por la verdad de la realidad incambiable y por la bendición conjunta de la indestructible Sangha, que la esencia de estas oraciones se logre rápidamente. Y finalizamos con la dedicación. que por los méritos de esta virtud pueda alcanzar rápidamente el estado de un Guru Buda y pueda llevar a este estado a todo ser sin excepción. La mente de iluminación es suprema y muy preciada, que donde no ha surgido surja, que donde ha surgido no disminuya, que cobre cada vez más fuerza. La visión correcta del vacío es suprema y muy preciada, que donde no ha surgido surja, que donde ha surgido no disminuya, que cobre cada vez más fuerza. Así como el valiente Manjushu y Samantabhadra distinguieron los fenómenos tal cual son, yo también dedico estos méritos en la mejor forma, siguiendo su ejemplo perfecto. Dedico todas estas raíces de virtud con la dedicación que es considerada la mejor por los victoriosos asidos de los 3 tiempos para poder realizar todas las buenas obras.